Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Gallagher Shots YouTube channel and podcast. And it is myself, your host, Chris, joined by Decca and Mark. And we are here to preview a game which we thought we would never see again. The Weir Tyne Derby has returned, this time in the third round of the FA Cup. None of us wanted to see it, but it's here. It's happening. Mark.
It makes us feel sick. just even those words just hit us in the pit of the stomach.
Is this like now because of what's happened to Newcastle United in the last couple of years, and obviously what happened to Sunderland since obviously we got relegated, we came up and they just started dropping down the leagues, etc.
That was lovely, that wasn't it?
It was lovely. It's not so lovely at the minute because do you think now we are in a no-win situation here?
100%, 100%. There's no, well, from our point of view there is, but like in the eyes of the world, we are in a no-win situation here because if we go there and we win, oh well, what did you expect?
Richest
You're
club in the world.
Newcastle, richest club in the world, Premier League team. It's little Sunderland in the Championship. It's what should happen.
This has the world's biggest banana skin of all time here.
It's an epic size banana skin.
And I just hate it. I hate it. And if, I will be honest, if it had have been, let's say last season, you know, when we were smashing everyone in
So
sight,
rubbing your hands together.
I would have been, let's bring it on.
I wouldn't. I'd still
would
be feeling.
I still feel sick. Like I would still be nervous, but I would be a hell of a lot more confident than I am sitting now. I have to be fair. And I wish it hadn't have happened. I wish it had been out at home. I will say that because we're away forms as bad as it is, right? I think that
one win in all.
Yeah, well, our second win was away from home in the cup, so maybe that's a good omen in a sense. But it's a game I wish wasn't happening. I wish it was years away. Actually, I just wish it wasn't happening again.
I never. I've said it since they went down. I never want to play them again.
Yeah.
I hate Derby Day. I hate it.
Now, what I will say, and Mark's absolutely right that if we win, no one's going to give her credit. Everyone's just going to all our Sunderland. I've got loads of Sunderland. Well, what do you expect?
It would just be a big sigh of relief.
I will know inside that we've beat them, right? And I didn't care if some newspaper or some journalist.
The
doesn't give her
difference is
credit.
there.
I know.
You'll not let them know that you know.
Well, yeah.
But
oh, Christ, no, mate.
if the opposite happens,
They'll be camping outside my door, man. They'll be outside my door. Yeah, no, I agree. But because it is one of them, isn't it? It's like we are expected to win, and to be fair, we are.
Favourites.
We are.
Bookies' favourites at the minute.
we should be, right?
Despite Newcastle's current run of form, which is horrendous. There's no other way of looking at it. It's horrendous. If you look at the last 8 games, 7, 8 games. If you look at our away form over the course of the season, it's even worse. It's absolutely diabolical, and that's what worries me. Like I said, if it had been at St. James's Park, I would be a hell of a lot more confident.
Yeah.
I think what does help us, just to flip it on a bit of a positive note as well, this could be a huge confidence boost for the lads. If we win this game against Sunderland in a local derby, huge confidence boost. Exactly the sort of result which we need right now.
Yeah.
Okay,
100%.
Can flip it around on the other end of that could be horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. What helps us in regards to what's happened recently is the amount of fans which are allowed to go to the stadium. Like we've never had that many there for a long time.
It's madness.
A long time. Over 6,000 away fans, to the point where I think it's a Black Hats bar as well, which Newcastle have got.
That's right. Yeah.
Obviously, everybody realises that it is a bubble trip now. You've got to go to St. James's Park, get your ticket on the coach, you've got to show ID. Then
you get your ticket at the ground, actually. They've changed
at the Sunderland, at Stadium Light. So you pick your ticket up there, need ID, so that they're being shit hot with this. Like I said, it's a bubble trip. You get your coach. I've done it before, and it wasn't actually the last time which we won against Sunderland. It was the Ryan Taylor free kick one. I done it where you go on the coach, they drive to Stadium Light, they do not stop. There's a police escort which takes you up there. They stop all the oncoming traffic coming from the traffic lights, which are on green. That coach will not stop until you arrive at the car park.
I've got no problem with that.
Yeah,
doing that's not an issue. What I do have a problem with is coaches leaving 4 hours before kickoff for a 20-minute drive down the road.
Yeah,
that is ridiculous. And I know that they've put a situation now where the concessions are going to be open. You're going to be able to get food and drink once you get there and stuff like that. But needing to leave Newcastle at 8:30 in the morning
Silly
for a
that, isn't it?
12:30 kickoff is ridiculous.
It is silly, but
Like that's the only.
But
and
we've had to
again-
do it to have that amount of numbers in attendance. We've had to do that, and fair enough. If that's what it takes to get more fans in there, then the club have done great by the fan base for doing that. I spoke about form. If we look at form against Sunderland, I think we're going to have to address it, Digger.
I'm biting my nails already. Yeah.
Form against Sunderland. Like I said, the last
Honking.
time we won against Sunderland was in 2011, I believe it was. Who would have been? So the Ryan Taylor free kick.
That's right,
It hasn't been good since then.
yeah. No, actually,
There's a couple of draws
no.
in there.
But the 5-1 was after that. No, it
No,
wasn't.
that was
Was it?
before
No,
that,
it was
yeah.
before that. Wasn't
Draw
it?
with Meat Row,
Jesus,
didn't we?
it was.
That was
Yeah, the draw with Meat Row. Yeah. No, it doesn't. It's been dreadful. There's no other way to dress it up. Now I'm going to try and spin that here a little bit. I think we've got a lot more players now that know what it means. Whereas what I mean by that is we don't have your Sissoko's. No offense to we had a lot of foreign players that maybe didn't quite get it, and etc. etc. Whereas I feel we have a lot of Geordies amongst the group. Now, of course,
get Dummett in the team.
you go out there and sometimes that goes out the window. Sometimes you can be too hot-headed. You can be too hyped up. I don't know. But, like Burn, Longstaff, Miley, bless him. There's a number of players there. Murphy, I know he's not fit, but he'll be in and around the squad.
There's a lot.
They'll know what it means. They'll know what it means. And I think we have to, even though our form has been dreadful, we are a completely different team and outfit to what we were. And I have to try and look at the bad form that we've had and remove that from my head a little bit. But
do you
that's
remove
what
that because it is a derby and anything can happen on derby day?
No,
we've known before where we've gone into these games in a good run of form, thinking
and
we are
that's my-
going to steamroll them.
That's my thought. Like if people saying I would have happily have played them last season and stuff like that before this run of form. I've seen us being miles above them in the league, going into that game thinking we'll do these. There's absolutely no way on earth that they can get a result against us, and we've been beaten. It doesn't matter who you are, what you're doing on a derby day, form, any sort of performance, everything like that goes out of the window because it's an even keel. And yes, on paper, when you look at things completely rationally, you should be able to go, well, of course, Newcastle Premier League team, Champions League players that are playing for the country week in, week out, main internationals. You're playing against Sunderland, Championship team, came up from League One, Lewis Miley wasn't even born the last time that we played them. That we should be beating them, but it doesn't work like that. If football worked like that, we wouldn't have got beaten off Nottingham Forest. We wouldn't have got beaten off Luton.
Oh no, I absolutely agree. But we would have beaten Nottingham Forest and Luton last year on that form. But I'm actually the total opposite of that. I think it's quite an old tale that of like, oh, it's Derby Day and form goes out the window. I never say I haven't beat Liverpool ever. By the way, ever. So.
It's not that long ago that they did.
Well, tell us the date, because I just see them get humped every time they play them. I'm more of, I think I'd rather be
The underdog.
well, the question I'll give you then, would you rather be the team of last year, 6-2 against whatever it was against Tottenham, and that Newcastle United coming into Saturday, or the one we currently are?
But it's the same team.
So you don't mind then?
It's the same when you
So you
look
don't
at it on paper. It's the same team.
I get paper. I know what it is.
The form that we're running in and stuff like that
Exactly.
is what's taking you away from there. But
Well, that's what I mean. So I would much rather, I would want us to be the ferocious, goal scoring machine that we were last year, right? And I think would obliterate them. Honestly, I do. I think they wouldn't be able to cope. We unfortunately at the moment are a different animal, and we're a bit wounded at the minute, like.
But that same team that you're talking about went to Sheffield Wednesday last season and got troubles. I know, obviously, we'd made some changes and stuff like that impacted it. There's that ridiculous side of football.
we do love a cup upset though.
I would hope that we do go with a strong first team that we're going there. As much as I've just
100%.
as much as I've just
You're not
said,
going to see anything
get done
less
in
than
there,
that.
But
Can you imagine, for a second, if like Gillespie was in goal and like it was like a second stringer, and how Jackson
Geordie's on.
and how Jackson's
get
well,
Carriers to
we've
net
got
at
City
least.
coming up, so I had to concentrate on that. That's when there'd be hell on.
It's going to be the strongest
I'm not
side
saying it would be like
physically
Hull
possible.
Shearer Ferguson jobby, but it would be a bad one. But no, he will go strongest 11 that's available. And what that is, and what we think's for strong. I've seen that team go to Liverpool and think, it's a decent 11, that. But then when you see Gordon, can it work? And I don't know, it's not quite the same, is it? You know what I mean? So, but they're going to have, there's no midweek game, if you like, even though it was Monday. They're gonna know what this means.
So we spoke a couple of times about the lads and the local lads knowing what it means, and they'll be well up for it. Do you know who else is going to be well up for this?
Bruno.
It's a flip of a coin which side of this player you're going to get. Bruno's going to be up for it. Joe Linton's going to be up for it. Fabian Schär is going to be well up for it as well.
3 red cards.
There's some red cards waiting to happen.
Because you saw on Monday night, Bruno, there was a couple of times
You had to pinch out one of them
where he was like, but once he got his booking, he pulled himself back a couple of times because he knew.
Well, I've seen him smash them on the
what
middle
had
of the park. Like he can. I'm telling you, 6,000 Geordie shouting Bruno in a derby.
Smash.
He'll be switching music and everyone on the field.
Meat Rose back.
See, me fear's going out of my stomach now, and it's now getting excited to see. I absolutely smash them all over the place.
I said a few when the draw happened. Right, I said this to my dad loads of times. I said there's a few players for me that have to be on for us to win. And Bruno, Joe Linton, Trippier, and Isak were the 4 that I said at the start. Now, I appreciate Gordon, fitness-wise, who knows. But if them other ones can play, Trippier's touch and go on, only, we need Bruno and Joe on there, definitely. Them have to be on. Because if they're not, could be in trouble, like, you know what I mean? Now, I say that, I mean, look at Sunderland's team, right? Let's look at their team. Now, is there anyone in there, if I said to you now, that scares you in their team? They've got one player, I think.
The big talk's been Jack Clark.
Jack Clark's a good player. He is a good player. Now, but Tino, even if he plays right back, Tino's solid. Yeah. So that's his side of the field. I do like Pritchard's a canny player, to be fair, if he plays. He's all right, clever little player.
He's been the one player that's, the last 2-3 games has came in, and actually he's been the one that's been getting them results with his assists and stuff like that.
He's a clever player. He's a good little footballer, but
he is, but he's
not.
He's also 73-year-old, a little fat, slow.
So
you should be able to
that's getting clipped.
do a number on him.
Now I just want to reference something here. I agree with you, right? I seen Chris Wood go a hat trick.
Yeah,
it's in James's Park.
A very good hat trick.
Anything in football is possible. Like Pritchard could be like Zidane on Saturday. If Chris Wood was Haaland, we made him look like Haaland, man.
But that's allowing him to have time and space because he ain't got he can't move the ball quickly.
Who?
He can't run. Pritchard. He's
a clever player, man.
He's like a little fat John Joe Shelby. That's what he's like.
I'm going to refrain from slagging any of their players off, so I do not end up on that message board.
Goodness me, it's just going to be Mark, isn't it? 73-year-old fat as out. Coming from the athlete.
But the Sunderland fans they say like Jack Clark, they all mention like how great he is, but then in the next breath they mention he goes missing for 2 or 3 games at a time.
Well, let's hope we haven't found him.
There's not. Listen, they're a championship team, right? So they're obviously. Go on, son. There's not many players they're going to have that are. They're not world class, are they? Of course they're not. So they're all going to have players that'll go missing and stuff like that. But the thing is, right? That they are at home, right? They're coming off a good win just before there, right? And the problem the one issue you do have, and we've kind of referenced it at the start, they have nothing to lose. There's nothing on them, and that's what their gaffer will be telling them.
There's no weight on their shoulders going into this.
Go out there and
apart from
biggest game that they've got
it.
this season.
Go out there and just
so far.
There's nothing to worry about because there's no pressure on you. Whereas our side is like, whether how will never address this up this way, but the players will know. Christ, we have to win the game.
You have to win,
and that, you know what I mean. The skill is there. It's difficult. Now, listen. Now let's try and be positive again. We've faced Paris Saint-Germain, man. You know what I mean? We've this season alone we've faced opposition away from home at home in moments that these players have never experienced, and you hope that. That's the type of thing through experience you draw on the cup final.
Yes.
So these things you draw on, and then you're at the stadium and they go, well, this is nothing compared to
it's just a football game. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Hopefully, anyway.
And I think that's what we'll have to look at. And if we look at the positives,
I'm really trying.
We have a great football side. Yeah, the players in there, what they did there last season. I know they're struggling at times this season, but we have to look at it, and we addressed it on the live show, which was done there, is that now we are getting breaks in between games. We're not playing.
We've actually got a week of
Saturday.
training.
Exactly. And that's going to be, 2 games in 13 days or something daft like that, or 14, thereabouts. Yeah. So,
which has been unheard of recently.
It has been. And that's good in that instance. It's more rest for the players, and they need it. Okay.
Recovery time,
I
yeah.
think what we need now, I think it's already been addressed that Callum Wilson's going to be missing this game. He's going to be out for the next 2 games. If that's true, we don't know. We'll soon find out. We need no hiccups going into this game. No injuries in training. We need that squad to be as up for it and as fit as possible, because I'm worried about this one. But I'm worried. But then, if you think logically about it,
You can't think logically about it. It's a derby.
I know you can't, but if you do, we should be beating them. We should be. But then we went into the Luton game thinking we should probably beat them. We should probably
That's what
beat
I mean.
Forest. But what we like you said at the start, Mark, we've got players in that team now who will want to win this game more than probably what they've wanted to win some of the games that they've already featured in this season, because of the current situation which we're in right now. The fans haven't really got a huge amount to shout about. We're out the Champions League. We out of the League Cup. Our league form has dropped massively. This could be something right now to get the fans back on board, back up for it for the rest of the season. Could be a springboard
Yeah, to be really positive, it actually could be the best game
to have.
if that makes sense. To really galvanise and rejuvenate what we are,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. And again, I'm trying to be really positive here.
If we win.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking it could be the complete opposite to that, because if we lose this game,
I know. No, of course, there's always a flip side. But I think, I don't know. I think, actually, truthfully, since we've talked, I'm actually more confident than I was before you pressed record. Like, because I've been back
my
in the
emotions
episode,
are all over the place here.
I'm never confident going into Derby, no matter what it is. Like I know I
hate
said
it.
earlier
I
that
absolutely hate it.
there has been games where I think, well, I'm going into these games thinking we should smash these, but as soon as that day approaches, I'm an absolute nervous wreck. I've had about 4 nervous shits in the space of 20 minutes, and I think
I'm thinking I'm needing to go now.
I think, do you know what it is? Like you said, Doug, I think this is the perfect game now to galvanise the lads. If the result,
Do you know
goes
what
our
it would be as well? And again, if the result goes our way, the connection between the players and fans would be there again. Do you know what I mean? Because results dictate that, don't they? Like, and it's been awful. It was the Forest game there at home, was the last one, obviously, of course, at home, and it was awful. Like, leaving on Boxing Day, and there's no one there. They're still doing the little out of one, and there's about 20 people left. Like, we need them times back, and the players players definitely want them back as well. And this would be seen as that we haven't seen in a while. Let's be fair, right?
I tell you
6,000 over as well, by the way.
what Northumbria Police will not want: a draw. Because if there is a draw, that means the replay goes on a Tuesday or a Wednesday night at St James's Park.
I could see that happening,
See, a draw.
They
we've
will
lost.
not
We've lost if
want
it's a draw, mate.
that.
Like, if it's a draw, we've lost. Even if we beat them at home, we've lost. Does that make sense mentally? Like, if we draw, it's not good enough. Like, lads, it's not good enough.
No, I think it is a game where we have to win.
Yeah, we've got to win. If you draw, them have won.
I'll quite happily take a draw and take them back to home.
And then if they beat, imagine they beat with home.
Oh God,
We've had 2 opportunities to beat them.
Say that, man.
Christ.
Don't even say that, man.
tonight.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
no,
hate
listen,
Derby Day.
I think is it? Oh yeah. No, I think what I am interested to see is their game plan in regards to now. Let's say them came to our building, right, and the way it's at our place. You would know there'd be the bus they came with would be on the line, right?
Yeah, we've seen it before at St James's Park, and they'll nick the result.
I just wonder if it'll play in with favour a little bit that they are at home.
Bit open.
And
That's my
does
hope.
that make sense?
That's
Yeah,
my hope.
and,
Yeah.
and hopefully the likes of Gordon, Isak, if Miggy, listen, I think Miggy, I've still got faith in you, mate. His pace in and behind, who knows? We've
If
got,
there is one player I want to see be a Derby Day hero, it's Miggy.
Yeah, I would
I
love
want
Joe
Miggy
to
to
get
score a
one.
winner.
No, I would love Miggy as well. I'm just thinking of pace in behind, and if them do get adventurous, and the crowd will want them to. Their crowd is not going to want them just to sit back, even if
course
that
not.
is the right thing.
They'll
to
be
do, by
pushing
the way.
up the field. Yeah,
They'll be pushing up the field, and can we get them in and behind, and the Gordons, Isaks, and Miggy, they're the 3
yeah.
that are going to have to do it, right? Because Longstaff ain't.
So let's go through our predictions for result, Mark.
Oh, no.
Starting with
No.
you.
That's not.
Don't have named goal scorers or anything like that. Just results.
We're gonna win.
Okay,
We're gonna win.
What's the result going to be?
We are going to win.
Decker?
I'm going to go 1-3. I think them will definitely score. I just can't see we'll keep a clean sheet, but I think we'll win 3-1. Yeah, I think we'll.
I think it's crucial first goal.
Yeah.
In this one, I think first goal is crucial. I think if we go behind, then I'll worry because of what we've recently seen. that we do struggle now because we haven't got that option from the bench to change things
If they go one up, do you see them then closing shop and making it difficult?
massively, and that's what worries us. I think if we get a goal, and I think we will get one early on, I think we could be in for a fantastic afternoon.
We have to, as you do in most games, you've got to weather that first 10 minutes.
Which we've been doing well recently.
I thought we did well against Liverpool in that regard, that. We got through the first 15 minutes. I appreciate it didn't end well, but if we can get, because they're obviously going to come out the traps. They have to, right? It's what it is. Get through that period of time, then hopefully we can get the ball on the floor, play how we want to play. And the bottom line is you want our quality to come through.
One of the things you're always relying on as well in Derby Day is the fans as well. Stadium Light will be very similar at St James's Park, where if things aren't going well, it'll turn very quickly, which we'll thrive off.
But the Sunderland fans will not be used to it because they're not normally there, are they? And the fans, the players will not be used to playing in front of such a loud and busy crowd.
Our lads are, listen, this will sound like a home game, I think.
It'll be loud for us.
It's just going to be
loud.
As loud as you've probably ever experienced.
I think one of the other things which is crucial in this fixture is the referee's performance.
Always.
He has to control that game. If he doesn't get a hold of it, and what I mean, and that works both ways, being quite lenient at times if he needs to be, but also if a challenge comes in, don't be scared to book somebody.
Me worry was about this with Joe and Bruno is if they get booked early.
That's what I mean.
And if Joe did early doors, Christ, that could be 80 minutes where he can't really be the Joe that we need him to be. It's tough, right? You know what I mean? He'll have to manage that, of course. But the same goes for Shea as well. Shea loves leaving one in.
And their players as well, because they'll be exactly the same.
Well, 09 is the one I keep hearing about. He's the wind-up merchant.
He loves the yellow card.
And he's the one that'll be winding up like Bruno. And listen, it's fair game. It's football, right? It happens.
If we control this game, we win it, hands down.
Yes, we have to play our way. And that's why I think Trippier playing, even though I know he's been a bit rough, he's been injured as well, hasn't he? But so we'll see. And if he's on, though, I think Trippier's so important, man, starting moves off from the back and stuff and joining attack. I think Trippier's huge. And I think, again, this could be a game for Trippier to really mend some wrongs. And I say wrongs is a strong word, but do you know what I mean? Like these bad performances or easy performances would be a good moment for everyone if we win.
So all three were going for a Newcastle result here, yeah?
They're going
we have to, don't we? We have to.
Well, I'm never going to say we're going to lose, though. But no, we shouldn't be losing. We can do it. We can do it.
I'm not confident, like.
Thanks, everybody. I hope you are as positive. I know there's been negative points of that one, but at the end of the day, we're all pretty confident.
We've had to do, and yes, admittedly, not in recent years, but we've been through this a hell of a lot as Newcastle fans. we know
don't remind us
what this day.
Are you worried they've got a new manager? Because obviously this manager
that doesn't bother us. Nah.
No, but like
I'm not one of these big believers that you get this new manager bounce. Like I'm not one of these.
Results of every team that ever gets a new manager.
Tends to be
that does
unless they're called Frank Lampard, but it tends to be the.
Well, we'll just look. He's took over, and I know it was before he got his feet under the desk, but lost the first one.
Yeah, performance. Like, admittedly, their results have been a bit up and down.
They're a funny say, because I shouldn't say this, but if they're on Sky, I will watch them normally. I do, right? Because again, like my mates are Sunderland fans, and like they got hammered off Coventry his first game, then they beat Hull. But then they drew against bottom of the league Rotherham. But then I watched the first half of the Preston game, and I thought I really did. I thought they were brilliant. And then I had to turn it off. I was like, I'm watching this because it was just, and I know Preston's Preston, right? You know what I mean? But they were knocking it around great, man. They were playing some lovely stuff, and I thought, I couldn't be watching it because I was worried, nervous. But listen, we should have enough, right? We should have enough.
We've got enough. They're
a pretty young side as well. So whether the experience, the worldliness of our team might.
I agree. This is what I agree with you. There is that like if they're centre halves. Yeah, not up against Isak every week. Like, do you know what I mean? They haven't not up against Bruno in midfield. The Bruno that we seen against Fulham dragged the team through. If Bruno's that Bruno, they can't handle that.
Yeah.
Didn't cut this either. But they don't. Watch him just man mark him out of the game. But you know what I mean. You would hope that they're
they do that, then that should free up
up.
Space up for other people.
It didn't against Forest. Gibbs White stuck on him.
We've got to go back on the negative.
I know it is, and again we'll go back to the negative because there hasn't been much good of it.
It's because the worry. That's what it is. It's the worry of losing that game. It's huge. It's absolutely huge.
Well, lads, we'll do it, man.
We'll be Irish. Thanks, everybody.
I hope we never play
we shall see you after the weekend. Watch what you're doing. Ta-ra.